Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, let's begin. Han always knew she was different. Even as a child, she used to sit and draw weird drawings. She remembers the day she saw her father's thread twist toward a woman who wasn't her mother. Her mother confronted him in front of her as she stood silently. As she grew up, she began to understand that the red lines were not just symbols, they revealed hidden truths no one else can see. The longer the line, the closer disaster gets. That's why Hyun tried to end her life many times, but each attempt failed. Eventually, she decided to find out why she saw these red lines and if there's anyone like her who can see them too. Meanwhile, we're introduced to Detective Han, a smart, skilled officer heading to the police station. In another scene, we shift to a high school where a girl named Sun is being brutally bullied by a group of girls. The leader of the bullies sneers. Then they drag her by the hair and almost throw her off the school rooftop. Back to Detective Han, he's investigating a murder case of a 29-year-old woman who lived alone and was mysteriously killed. Her food came from an unknown source, making him suspect she was poisoned. That night, while the police discuss the case, they suspect that the food delivery man may be the killer, as he seems mentally unstable. The news reports the woman's murder on TV, and Hyun is shocked, because she sees only one red line above the dead woman's head. That night, Hyun hears someone knocking on her neighbor's door. Based on everything she's seen, she starts to suspect that this man is the killer. For the first time ever, she charges her phone and calls the police to report that the man they're looking for is inside the building across from hers, but suddenly she hangs up. She feels overwhelmed by a dizzying storm of red lines. The next morning, San asks her uncle for money and he gives it to her. She tries to hide her face, avoiding his gaze. He asks nothing, unaware she's being bullied. Meanwhile, one of Han's assistants calls and tells him about the mysterious girl who called the police the night before, but suddenly hung up. Han heads straight to her building. When Hyun looks through the hole and sees Han, she's shocked to see the number of red lines on his head. Her neighbor tells Han she's the most isolated person in this entire city. But Han knocks and knocks until Hyun finally opens. She apologizes and says she dialed by mistake, then slams the door in his face. That night, a man wearing a helmet stands outside her door. At the same time, Sun sees a rich-looking woman and tries to follow her to rob her, but fails. She overhears some boys talking about money. Meanwhile, Detective Han is working another murder case, this time of a woman named Dong, and he learns she had an ex-boyfriend. Suddenly, Han receives a call from the hospital where his father is being treated. He rushes over and finds his father standing on the rooftop attempting to end his life. As Han is on his way home, his detective friend calls him. But before he can say anything, the man in the helmet attacks Han, beats him, ties him up, then stares at his reflection in the mirror. The man heads to Hyun's neighbor's house. Hyun watches from the window in terror. Scared out of her mind, she grabs a sharp object and leaves the apartment. She sees something ahead but becomes paralyzed with fear. She collapses. She sees a vision of her mother far away and tries to reach for her hand but faints. Meanwhile, the helmeted man goes to visit his lover. He wears glasses and sees multiple red lines above her head. Realizing that she cheated on him, he begins to strangle her. Suddenly, Hyun appears. He's shocked to see her, but he grabs a knife and stabs her. His girlfriend attacks him in return. Back at Hyun's apartment, Detective Han arrives and is stunned by the bizarre drawings on her walls. Through the window, he witnesses the entire confrontation. He pulls out his gun to shoot the killer, but then Hyun stabs the killer herself, but nothing happens. It's Han's bullet that actually kills the man. Just before dying, the killer mutters the line, "It disappeared." The ambulance arrives. Hyun keeps thinking about what he said. Haunted by his words, she sees Han and asks him about the man who died. He replies, "I'll tell you everything." At the station, as they stand together, Sun walks in. She sees Han and blurts out, "Wait, why are you wearing black sunglasses in the dark?" Hyun's uncle asks if she and Sun already know each other. Later, Detective Han goes back home and visits his niece, Sun. He wants to know what happened to her at school, but she refuses to tell him anything. That frustrates him. And as he's about to leave, she tells him that the girl they met earlier is named Hyun, and that they used to be classmates in elementary school. She also reveals something shocking. Hyun's mom killed her dad when they were little, then ran away. We cut to Hyun sitting alone and making a decision. She won't wear the black sunglasses anymore. She wants to return to life and face the world as she truly is. But suddenly, she receives a strange message from an unknown person, "Come to the high school. I know everything about you." Meanwhile, Sun walking nervously through school. She's fed up and climbs to the rooftop, needing space. Back to Hyun, she's thinking about that mysterious message. She stares at an old photo of herself and her grandmother. She decides it's time to change her life, so she removes all the papers she'd taped to the windows. When Sun arrives at school, she's shocked. Her bullies had drawn her picture and written horrible things on it. Sun is so embarrassed that she silently goes to her desk, anxious and ashamed. She's even more shocked when she sees her bully reading her personal diary. Sun rushes at her to snatch it away, but the bully fights back and starts beating her again. Luckily, the teacher arrives just in time and stops the fight. She pulls Sun aside to talk. Overwhelmed with rage, Sun says, "I want to kill her." She then decides to leave school and head home. As she's walking out, she notices something strange. A pair of black sunglasses. They're the same ones worn by the masked man, the one who could see the red lines on people's heads. She's scared but takes them anyway. That night, Han sits in the office with her colleague. They discuss how the media is attacking them for killing the criminal, but they're more interested in understanding why he murdered the two girls he once loved. They believe something deeper is going on. So, Han goes to the killer's house and finds red lines drawn all over the wall. He has no idea what they mean. Meanwhile, Sun puts on the sunglasses and looks in the mirror only to see one red line above her own head. She's confused and unsettled. Then she sees her uncle and gasps. He has many red lines over his head. Terrified, she screams and runs into her room. She storms out of the house, walking past strangers. She looks at everyone she passes and sees red lines above their heads. Sometimes one red line connects two people, meaning they're in a secret relationship no one else knows about. The next day, as she heads to school, her uncle offers her a ride. But when she sees the red lines again, she's disgusted. She refuses to get in the car and walks away. At school, she's happy because now she can tell how many personal connections each person has. Then she sees something surprising. Her bully's red line stretches all the way to the teacher's room. Curious, she goes in and finds her teacher inside. That means the bully has a secret relationship with the teacher. She's delighted, now she can finally get her revenge. During class, Hyun enters. The bully keeps staring and laughing at her. Meanwhile, Han heads to the school and starts asking the teacher a lot of questions. He explains the case about the serial killer who lived across from Hyun. Then he asks, "Did that guy ever wear glasses?" The teacher replies, "I don't think so. I've never seen him wear glasses." Elsewhere, the bully slaps Sun across the face. Her sunglasses fall, but she picks them up and puts them back on. When the bully tries to slap her again, grabs her hand and shoves her to the ground. Hyun rushes in and steps in to defend. The bully turns on Hyun and the two girls start fighting. Hyun almost pushes the bully off the roof. Scared, the bully runs away. Later, Sun gets angry at Hyun for helping her and decides to confront her. Meanwhile, Han heads to a local club to investigate someone and learns that the suspect used to come there often. Always talking to himself. The bartender says he always wore glasses. Back to Sun, she sees the bully with the teacher and secretly takes a photo of them together. She sends it to her as blackmail, but the bully doesn't care and ignores the threat. Sun loses hope. Out of desperation, she sends the photo to the teacher's wife. The teacher panics. Later, Sun and Hyun are walking together, talking about their lives. Meanwhile, the teacher, now terrified of being exposed, goes to confront the bully, Yoon, but she's calm and cold. She apologizes, then walks away. Yoon heads over to Sun and watches her from a distance as laughs and takes photos with her friends. Yoon is confused. She doesn't understand how Sun knows so much. Sun walks away happily and starts to manipulate one of her classmates, making him fall into her trap. Hyun secretly follows her into the bathroom and pulls out the sunglasses. She asks, "Can you really see the red lines?" Sun explains, every student has red lines above their heads. Hyun tells her this device is dangerous. But Sun doesn't care. She takes the sunglasses and walks away. While walking together, Sun asks Hyun how she was able to get rid of her own red lines. That takes Hyun back to the darkest memory of her life. Her mom killing her dad after finding out he cheated on her. Back in the bathroom, Yoon had been hiding and listening to everything. She steals Sun's bag, which has the sunglasses inside. When she puts them on, she finally sees the red lines herself, but then someone sneaks up behind her and hits her on the head. Sun calls Hyun and tells her everything that happened, but suddenly she drops the phone on her face and heads out to meet the teacher on the rooftop. She asks him for the money he promised. The teacher reveals, "I'm married. My wife is pregnant and I already have a child. I don't have that kind of money." He pleads with her not to ruin him. Then suddenly, he finds out the photo was already sent to his wife. He panics and starts fighting with Sun. She's confused she didn't send it. Meanwhile, Hyun is frantically looking for Sun. She finds her lying on the ground, having fallen from the rooftop. The red line above Sun's head begins to disappear. That means one thing, she's going to die. Hyun bursts into tears beside her, but the big question remains. This marks the end of part 1 of this series. Stay tuned for part 2.